Okay, whenever you have x to the minus a power, it becomes 1 over x to the power. That's the key thing to know with a minus. Not to make it minus 16, but to basically flip it round. So it becomes 1 over 16 to the half. And you should get a mark, even if you can't remember how to deal with the half. And then to deal with the half, actually you need to remember that raising to the power of a half is the same as square rooting. So it becomes 1 over the square root of 16, which is 1 over 4. Why is that the case? Because if we, let's take 2, if I do the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, then that by definition is the square root of 2 squared. I'm timesing it by itself. And if you square root and square, you get back to the original. Okay, that would equal 2. If you use the rules of powers, 2 to the half times 2 to the half, then you hopefully remember that you add the powers together. So you go 2 to the half plus a half, which is 2 to the 1, which is 2. We sort of see that we're multiplying the same thing by itself and giving 2, same thing by itself and giving 2. It must be that the square root of 2 is the same as 2 to the half. And I could do this argument with x in the place of 2. Anyway, you do need to remember that as well as the negative. Simplify these. These are surds. Okay, first thing I'm going to do actually is bring them together. So I can write this as root 6 times 3, like this, all within the roots. And then that becomes root 18. And I think I've actually now turned it into a more familiar question for simplifying. So at this point, we try and find a square number. That's what when we say simplify, we mean we're trying to write it as k times the root of something. We're trying to bring a square number out and then leave a surd that we can't simplify inside. And you can write 18 as 9 times 2. 9 is the largest square number that goes into 18. So then I can write it as root 9 times root 2, which is 3 root 2, which is the answer. You could have done this question a bit more quickly if you'd realized that you could write root 6 as root 2 times root 3 and then times by root 3 afterwards, and that would again give you 3 root 2, but I think it's a bit harder to see than making it into something that you should have, in theory, have practiced simplifying surds like this.